and smote him on the helm, that he fell to the earth. Also in that year he felled King Morganor, and there was a great slaughter of good knights and much people. But then came into the press King Arthur, and found King Ban standing among dead men and dead horses, fighting on the flat foot as would a lion. They that came drew nigh him as far as he might reach with his sword, but he caught a grievous buffet, whereof King Arthur had great pity. And Arthur was so bloody that by his shield there might no man know him, for all was blood and brains on his sword. And as Arthur looked by him, he saw a knight that was passingly well horsed, and therewith Sir Arthur ran to him, and smote him on the helm, that his sword went unto his teeth, and the knight sank down into the earth dead. And anon Arthur took the horse by the rein, and led him into King Ban, and said, Fair brother, have this horse, for he have great mister thereof, and he repenteth sore of your great damage. It shall be soon revenged. And King Ban, for I trust in God mine, there is not such, but some of them may so repent of this. I will well, said Arthur, for I see your deeds fall actual. Nevertheless, I might not come at you at that time. But when King Ban mounted on horseback, there began anew a battle, the which was sore and hard, and passing great slaughter. And so through great force King Arthur, King Ban, and King Bors made their knights turn back, and so withdrew them to a little wood, and so over a little river, and there they rested them. For on the night they might have a rest on the field, and then the 11 kings and knights put them on a heap altogether, as men of dread and out of all comfort. But there was no man might pass them. They held them so hard together, both behind and before, that King Arthur marvelled of their deeds of arms, and was passing wroth. Ah, sir, Arthur, said King Ban and King Bors, blame them not, for they do as good men ought to do. For my faith, said King Ban, they are the best fighting men and knights of most prowess that ever I saw or heard speak of. Those 11 kings are men of great worship, and if they were longing unto you, there were no king under the heaven had such 11 knights, and of such worship. I may not love them, said Arthur, they would destroy me. That what are we well, said King Ban and King Bors, for they are your mortal enemies, and that hath been proved aforehand, and this day they have done their part, and that is the great pity of their wilfulness. Then all the 11 kings drew them together, and then said King Lot, Lords, ye must other ways than ye do, or else that great loss is behind. Ye may see what people we have lost, and what good men we lose, because we wait always on those footmen, and ever in saving of one of the footmen we lose 10 horsemen for him. Therefore this is mine advice, let us put our footmen from us, for it is near night, for the noble Arthur will not tarry on the footmen, for they may save themselves, the wood is near hand. And when we horsemen be together, look every each of you kings, let us make ordinance that none break upon pain of death, and who that seeth any man presumptively, lightly that he be slain. For it is better that we slay a coward than through a coward while we to be slain. How say ye? Said King Lot. Answer me all ye kings. It is well said, quoth King Ventrus. So said the king of the 100 knights, and the same said to King Bardos and King Uriens. So did King Idris and King Rhinagoras, and so did King Craunus and Duke of Camerons, and the same said King Clarence and King Eglians, and swear they would never fail other, neither for life nor for death. And whoso that fled, but did as they did, should be slain. Then they amended their harness, and righted their shields, and took new spears, and set them on their thighs, and stood still as it had been a lump of wood. Chapter 17. Yet more of the same battle, and how it was ended by Merlin. When Sir Arthur and King Ban and Bors beheld them and all their knights, they praised them much for their noble chivalry, for the hardest fighters that ever they heard or saw. With that they dressed from 40 noble knights, and 7 of the 3 kings they would break their mantle. And these were their names: Riences, Variance, Ulfius, Rasgas, Hector, Kay, Lucas the butler, Griflet, Leithias de Diu, Mariette de la Roche, Julianas de Olai, Briant de la Forest Savage, Belias Moyans of the castle of maidens, Planandarius of the castle of ladies, Anasians, that was King Bors Godson, a noble knight, Latinas de la Ruse, Emeras, Clalas, Great Saints of the Castelline, one of Blois de la Case, and Sir Clogrovance de Bor. All these knights rode on afore, with spears on their thighs, and spurred their horses mightily, as the horses might run, and 11 kings, with parts of their knights, rushed with their horses as fast as they might, with their spears, and there they did, on both parties, marvellous deeds of arms. So came into the thick of the press Arthur, Ban, and Bors, and slew down right on both hands, and their horses went in blood up to the fetlocks, that ever the 11 kings in their host was ever in the visage of Arthur. Wherefore Ban and Bors had great marvel, considering the great slaughter that there was, but at the last they driven them back over a little river. With that came Merlin on a great black horse, and said unto Arthur, Thou hast never done, hast thou not done enough? Of 70,000 this day hast thou left alive, but 15,000, and it is time to say, Ho, for God is wroth with thee, that thou wilt never have done. For yonder 11 kings at this time will not be overthrown, but an thou tarry on them any longer, thy fortune will turn, and they shall increase, and therefore withdraw unto you your lodging, and rest you as soon as ye may, and reward your good kings in gold with silver, for they have well deserved it. There may no riches be too dear for them, for of so few men as ye have, there were never men did more prowess than they have done today, for ye have matched this day of the best fighters of the world. That is truth, said King Ban and Bors. Also said Merlin, withdraw you where ye list, for this 3 year I dare undertake, they shall not hear you, and by then you shall hear new tidings. And then Merlin said unto Arthur, These 11 kings have more on hand than they are aware of, for the Saracens are lightened in the countries, more than 40,000 that burn and slay, and have laid siege at the castle Wandas of Oro, and make great destruction. Therefore dread you not this 3 year. Also sir, all the goods that be gotten at this battle, let it be searched, and when ye have it in your hands, let it be given freely unto these 2 kings, Ban and Bors, that they may reward their knights with all that shall cause strangers to be of better will to do you service at need. Also ye be able to reward your knights of your own goods, whensoever it liketh you, as well said, quoth Arthur, and as thou hast devised, so shall it be done. When it is delivered to Ban and Bors, they gave the goods as freely to their knights, as freely as it was given them. Then Merlin took his leave of Arthur and the 2 kings, for to go and see his master Blease, that dwelt in Northumberland, and so he departed, and came to his master, that was passing glad of his coming. There he told how Arthur and the 2 kings had sped at the great battle, and how it was ended, and the 2 names of every king and knight of worship that was there. And so Blease wrote the battle word by word, as Merlin told him how it began, and by whom, and likewise how it was ended, and who had the worst. All the battles that were done in Arthur's days, Merlin did his master Blease do right. Also he did do right